Welcome back to another episode of Exploring Whiskies. I'm Eric.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Adam.
And today we have, we're going back to our favorite Scotch distillery. Well, at least probably the favorite for the whole wide range of it.
Yeah.
This is the Glenmorangie, the Barrel Select release. This is the 13-year whiskey finished in Cognac casks. This one is different than almost any other ones where it's finished. So like their standard release, the 12-year I think is what sherry and they're finished in various different things. But they always start with the 10-year and then finish it. They didn't do that with this. There's only 8 years aged in the regular barrels, and then they moved it into really, really used Cognac casks.
For a lot of flavor.
How many years?
For 5.
Wow.
But they were so,
It's a lot dark. It's got some good
it's
color.
definitely dark. But
Be generous, I
Dr.
drink
Bill,
faster than you.
what?
I said be generous. I drink faster than you.
Yeah. But Dr. Bill, who's the master distiller there, he struggled with Cognac because it generally it overpowers. Like Glenmorangie kind of has like pretty light and subtle notes to it. So it always overpowered it. So he came up with this idea of using like almost like barrels on their last legs. I know the last one, the Malaga cask.
It's got some sweet notes to the nose.
The last one we found of the Cask Select one was the Malaga cask. That one was really solid. I think that was a 15-year.
Apples. It's
sweet.
It's very sweet.
Some pears going on. It's inviting though. It's really like come in there and get a taste of this. Ooh.
Yeah, it's very sweet and 92 proof, so not totally buried in proof.
Yeah, it's pears and apples for me. It's pears and green.
I get a
apple,
lot of pears.
Some acidic. Yeah, I just can't believe like it's sitting in a secondary barrel for 5 years.
5 years. Yep.
Wow.
A little bit of a woody note.
on the end, yeah.
Yeah. That like really overpowers the finish.
It was really, really sweet on the front end, like honey sweet.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of warmth there too on that.
Ooh. And the wood it's very sits in the middle of my tongue. It's drying. It's
Yep. It's very dry. There's a lot of wood impact in there.
I'm getting
for a while.
like red apple
Oily?
skin.
Yeah.
Okay. That waxy.
That aftertaste is just hanging around.
Yeah, it's tannic. It's like at first it was like Apple Jacks.
Right.
Yeah.
First it was Apple Jacks. It was sweet, but then the wood came through. Boom.
Dries everything out and just moves a very different direction. But
that was taste one. We'll see. Let's move on to taste number
also,
two.
like watering. Like my mouth was watering just a little bit because of some of that. No.
Man, the nose though gets sweetened up and it's real floral now to me. It's almost like this. It's like an apple.
Like the apple
blossom.
flower. The flower.
Yeah.
Like a blossom. That's it. Apple blossom.
As far as where they're located in Scotland, I guess
they're a Highland.
Okay.
They're a Highland.
Top. No peat.
No, it's not. You're not going to have a smoky note to it. It's not that. No, it's not going to have a heavy peat note or any kind of that. They do. All Scotches use some peat, but they get it from different places to dry their malted barley. But they get it from more like a inland area, so it's more grassy and woody.
Not as briny.
It's not briny. It's not right.
Coast.
It's not near the coast.
Okay.
The bogs that they use. So it kind of just gives off more of like almost like a wood note.
It's funny as I sip that second drink, as you said, it's kind of grassy. Boom.
Grassy, earthy. Yeah, a lot of Highland Scotches do have a little bit of a hay note, like a grassy hay note. Like farmland type thing.
Yeah, but it's so different than that grassy hay note that sometimes you get from craft distillery bourbons or really young bourbons. Like
it's very different.
I don't see anything wrong with that hay. That's
second sip
good.
was much smoother than the first.
The wood's not as aggressive, but there's still the Cognac has a impact here.
It's drying my mouth out.
Yeah, there's an impact of that. That barrel is really doing something different to regular Glenmorangie.
Yeah.
This isn't at the top of my list for all the Glenmorangies I've ever had. It's different, there's an impact there. I'm not sure. $87. A lot of their special releases, their barrel select program, in that ballpark, $80 to $90. So.
And plus, it's 92 proof.
92 proof. It's 13 year.
Yeah, but I'll take that.
Yeah.
Over an 80 or an 84.
Absolutely.
So you have a ton of Scotch. I know you have a ton of open bottles.
I do.
A ton. How do you notice the oxygen playing in the taste? Or
Not as much as I do with bourbons.
Okay, there's an open up or
not
doesn't
as much.
Evolve as much. Okay.
Not as much.
If this guy would get a little bit.
It has happened. There's been a few where I go back to it and there's a little bit of a change in it. It's that's nice, or that kind of lost whatever I liked about that. But it's not as big of a impact as you get from especially like high rye bourbons. Mm-hmm. Something about that when you expose that to air really changes the profile. This is April. We are trying to raise funds for Make-A-Wish. April 29th is World Wish Day, which is the recognition of the very first wish ever granted that kind of led to the making of Make-A-Wish itself.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it's also the month of my son's birthday. So his birthday would have been April 23rd. And we like to try to raise funds for Make-A-Wish in the month of April. So anything you donate between now and the end of April will match up to $500. I'm not going to go crazy on this. But
I will definitely match it myself too.
So please donate. There's a link down in the description below, and Make-A-Wish is an amazing charity. Wishes when children are going through horrible, chemo treatments or surgeries and all that stuff. To have a wish granted just helps them take their brain off of what's going on around them. And honestly, was the spark of all of this. My son's wish was to be a YouTube star. He never got to do that. Unfortunately, he got too sick by the time we actually got the equipment to do things for YouTube. So instead, we review whiskeys and act like morons.
We're by no means stars.
And we're by no means stars, but we do this in honor of Jason. So we highly appreciate you donating to our fundraiser.
Yep.
I'm getting something on the nose now. That's like.
But the nose really hasn't changed all that much. That fruit note, sweet.
It got a little sweeter coming after tasting it and going back to it. I felt the nose was a little more sweeter.
You're getting wood on the nose?
Maybe that's the cognac.
A retro nasal type thingy coming off. Yeah. All right, let's add some water.
The old pipette.
The pipette. See if we get some oil stirring up.
Oh yeah, look at that guy. Look at those leggies.
See, now the nose to me, I get a little more ethanol. And it's not as sweet.
I agree. It moved more towards that, whatever that palate was, that cognac wood note, is more what the nose is now.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, it's more pronounced than what I was getting earlier. It is.
Yeah, I don't get any of that apple anymore.
Nope. And even the honey's kind of like it's mellowed.
There's more of the cognac effect now.
I kind of like the palate better. Not better. It's different. Like I like the palate better than I like how the nose changed. The palate kind of that wood all doesn't blast you at the end of the drink. It's now kind of mixed in with the sweet notes throughout the tasting. Like it starts with a little wood and sweet and kind of just stays there. It's more balanced of notes.
I would say yes. More my mouth is not dried out.
Mm-mm.
Right.
Yeah.
Now it's like watering.
Yeah, it's spreading into the sides of my tongue. I'm not a smoker. I occasionally dabble in the cigar world, but I don't know why. But I think this could go well with cigar.
Yeah, the way it coats your tongue and everything. I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. And the wood
just seems
bite
like
that comes off of
that
it.
Sweetness of this with the tobacco and the smoke.
Could work.
That's another habit or hobby I'm not going to even entertain with my wife. I don't want to hear it. I
enjoy it with the water better, to be honest with you.
I do too.
The nose, I like it's leans more towards bourbonish.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
The palate is more balanced.
I can definitely see that.
I noticed the spelling of whiskey here as well.
Yeah, no E.
No E.
All Scotch is like that.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. Did we not do this?
You guys have probably did it.
All right.
I know
the
Japan.
rule of thumb
Okay.
is if the country does not have an E in the name, it does not put an E in the whiskey. So, Scotland does not have an E in the name of the country, so they do not have an E. Same thing with Japan. Ireland does, so they use an E. America does, so it uses an E. But that's basically the rule of thumb. It's not perfect.
I thought it had
I think
something
Canadian
to-
whiskey has an E.
I believe it does. I believe it. That's why I said it's not a perfect rule of thumb, but that's the basic idea.
Blame Canada.
Where's your bottle of Canadian Club?
I
Your Seagram 7.
I have no Canadian whiskey, thank you very much. I like it. It's good. It's not my favorite of the line that we've...
Do you think it's
Malaga
appropriately
cask.
priced? Or would you dial it back a little bit?
I mean, for the proof and the years, it probably is. I mean,
How much?
87.
87. So
13 year,
mid to high
92.
13-year-old secondary barreling for 5 years.
Every Scotch is secondary barreling.
Yeah, but they're barreling and then they're barreling it again. I mean, for the profile, it's overpriced. For the work behind it, it's probably about right.
Yeah.
I still think the Malaga one of that cask, the Barrel Select program, that was delicious. This one is doesn't quite live up to that, but
Still delicious.
he was worried about that. I mean, that's what he was like. Cognac is just weird. Really, dude?
Oh, I forgot that. Man, I don't know.
Really?
It gets better and better as it goes. We don't have to do.
Really? Every freaking time.
It happened twice. Okay, this is
wonder-
the second time.
It would be an interesting conversation with him because this sat in the Cognac for 5 additional years.
Right.
I wonder. Obviously, they're sampling it throughout the process.
Right, yeah.
I'm curious.
At what point did
How much different was it? Just
year 4, year 5?
Well, most of them it's less than a year they sit in those barrels.
6 to 9 months
Yeah.
is generally what a lot of finishing does.
So
It's the
give
same
just
with
even
bourbon.
say on the year, 12 months.
Yeah.
What did it taste like then? Why did he wait 5? Because I gotta imagine if he was that nervous, I would have felt like
Pull it early
Yeah,
rather than pull
yeah.
it late. Yeah.
Well, because that's a huge gamble. If you're gonna let it sit there for 5 years and at 5 years it just absolutely sucks, what do you? Then you're just throwing it and you're blending it. I mean,
yeah, right.
That's a good point. I never even thought about that. How stressful it's got to be.
Yeah.
I mean, for all of the master
Yes.
distillers.
You
Just
got to
sitting there waiting for my
constantly
baby to,
touching it and touching it and touching it and be like, it's ready. Yeah. And you got, once you get to the scope and size of some of these places, you got to be doing that for a couple hundred barrels a day.
I'm in.
Just a-
I'm in. I'm in.
I was just gonna say, what a rough life.
Where do I sign? Where do,
Yeah,
where, send me the application.
Yeah.
I'll even buy my own thief. No, but that'd be
Or
interesting
tools.
though. Like if he did this, but it was obviously change the color label, but do a 1 year, a 2 year, a 3 year.
So you could
I
see
would
the
be
progression
curious.
of the whiskey.
Yeah, but I think that'd be a very interesting flight.
Absolutely would.
They have to save. They have to.
I'm sure
Keep some in the
they've
cask,
pulled
right?
off
And
like something, a 375 sample. Yeah. They've probably pulled that off at different time points to, I like this, but this still needs to develop, that kind of stuff. So
It's already got the age. It's been there. It's sat in the original one for 8 years.
8 years.
So
Yeah.
it's got the age there.
Right, it's already qualified.
Okay. Let me email Dr. Bill.
Yeah.
See if he'll respond.
Hit them up.
Can't complain about this, Bora. It's good.
No.
I'm not complaining, nitpicking a little bit. And comparing to some of the other stuff. I mean, I love Glenmorangie, and there's a lot of really good ones, but so far, still nothing.
But to your point, let it sit there. Let's come back and
see if it changes and opens. Yeah.
I bet it does a little bit.
That's possible.
No, I think the consensus is we like it.
Yeah.
It's
We like it.
It's not tops on our Glenmorangie.
Right.
But
Still
it's
good Scotch.
Still good. Yeah, very good Scotch. So
Sure.
thanks for splurging there, Kevin.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, we hope you enjoyed our review of the Glenmorangie Barrel Select Cognac finish. If you did, as always, we'd love for the support of the channel and hit that thumbs up at the bottom of the screen.
While you're down there, love you to subscribe. We're looking to continue to grow the channel, put out episodes like this twice a week or so, and we're constantly trying to find different whiskeys. So if you have a suggestion, please let us know. We'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely.
All right, see you on the next episode.
Thanks for watching.
Cheers.
Cheers.